Welcome to a painting process video. We have the sketch. We're adding in the skin tone colors, making sure that it doesn't overlap with any of the other things. And a mistake that I did make here was that I didn't erase the pencil. And this is a pretty big mistake because if you don't erase the pencil when you're using acrylics, you might accidentally blend in like the graphite with the paint, and it ends up like changing the paint's color. And I also accidentally made the skin color a little bit too dark, so later on you'll see me lighting it up. But for now, I'm just gonna for now I just put in the regular skin color because it's like, you gotta block in the basic colors first. And then I'm doing the hair. I think one of my favorite things about painting people is it's either the hair or the skin. Because with the hair, I always like adding in like those little highlights. And then for the skin, it's like you can add in so much stuff. You can add in the shadows. You can add in like the blush that people have. And then you can also add in like highlights too. Oh, and then as you can see, I accidentally got some of that paint where it's not supposed to be. And I had a little bit of a voice crack. My bad. And with this hair, for the paint, I didn't make it fully black. I did use black paint, but I added some pink to it. Because usually if you make something completely black, then it's kind of hard to like add shading to it or like add highlights because it's like a completely mute color. And then I think this is where I start like lighting up the skin tone. Oh yeah, by the way, this painting was a gift that I made for my friend whose birthday recently passed. For their birthdays, let me see what I did. I think I did a painting of a butterfly. And what else did I paint? I feel like I made a puzzle too. That's what it was. I made a puzzle. Yeah, made a puzzle using paint, like a DIY puzzle. I saw it from like a YouTube Shorts, and I think it was a pretty cool idea. I think it turned out pretty well. The only problem was that it's hard to like separate the puzzle pieces after you paint it, because essentially it's like you're gluing them together. Anyways, this is where I'm adding in the shading and like in some of the highlights, also blending in things too. And then I'm also adding in the blush right now. Usually like what I do is that you put in the paint of the skin, and then you add in small dots of like the blush, which is usually like a red or pink color. And then you like blend it together. And then you add the skin paint again around like the edges of where the blush is. So that way you can go from like the skin blended into the blush. Yeah, and there's me washing my brush. I always make sure the brushes are clean. Yeah, I think I'm still blending. I think I'm adding in maybe the highlights now. Usually with my paintings, the only time I have time to work on it is like over the weekend, because for like any other day I'm usually busy doing like homework or like studying for tests. I mean, it's pretty nice having like 2 days, but I feel like an issue that comes with that, oh, and you can see me doing like starting to do the highlights, is that like sometimes I rush through my paintings. And I feel like something that I have to practice is like taking my time. Like for this one, I think I definitely did do a good job, like taking my time and adding as many details as I could. But for some paintings, like I just like don't add that much detail. Like with the highlights, for some of my paintings, I just don't add in like highlights or like details to the hair. So that's something that like I really want to work on. And then as you can see for the highlights, what I do is that like I add the highlights first, like the paint for the highlights. And then I add the hair color paint at the edges to blend it out. And then I think for like the side that's like to the right, I try to make the highlights more brighter. So that way, because it's like the lighting, like the light is coming in from the right. So it should make like everything on the right side more lighter. And sometimes I also get like too scared to add in details because I'm like, oh man, this thing I want to do, it'd be so cool, but I feel like it could also like ruin the painting. So I don't want to do it. But I feel like sometimes you have to, like I probably should do it because it's better to take risks and have something turn out good than to not take risks at all. But I guess for this one, it was a pretty big risk because it was a birthday gift. But for any other like paintings, I should try to like take more risks because there's nothing like gonna happen if I just take it and it accidentally ruins the painting. Yeah, and then you have the highlights for the hair, and then you have the highlights for like the light too. And then this is me adding in the color for the mouth. Yeah, this is my first time like drawing and painting a mouth that has like teeth in it. I don't know why, but like before I just had no teeth. It's like that smile and it's just like the tongue part. But I feel like having the teeth is like, you have to have the teeth because it's like more accurate. I just think before when I did it, it didn't look good. But I think now it looks good. I think my problem was that I just made the teeth look like too straight. And then this is me adding in like the outline for the eyes. You could also say that it's like the eyelashes too. And this is me adding in the tongue, drawing in the tongue, painting in the tongue. I don't know if I have like a least favorite part of painting. That's gotta be really tricky. I think maybe the least favorite part, like, of the process is, like, adding in the base colors. Because, like, before you do the details and you have in the base colors, it, like, kind of looks bad. So, like, after you're done, you're like, oh, man, this thing looks, like, horrible. How am I going to make this look good? But then after you add in the details, it's like, oh, wow, this actually looks, like, pretty good. I don't know why I was having, like, doubt on that. And then I'm adding in like the collar too for the shirt while also doing like the shading. Something tricky about acrylics is that like what you put down and then when it dries, it's like completely different. Like you'll put down like a pink and then when it dries, it's like a whole lot darker. So I feel like if you ever try to like replicate something, like realistic painting, I think that's always like kind of tricky because it's like, oh, I've got this like nice green. It's so accurate. But then when you put it down and it dries, it's like, what is this color? This is not the green that I mixed. And something that happened for like the shirt, I don't know if you like saw it, but it had like a weird texture to it. Because I don't think I like fully blended in like all the colors. But I actually like how it turned out. It actually looked like pretty good. And then this is me with the teeth. Now we're adding in like the eyes. Usually for the eyes, instead of making it like completely white, a good thing to do is to make it white, but add in like a little bit of like another color. Like for this one, I added in a little bit of pink. Even though it still looks like it's white, it's like technically not white. So that way when you add in like the shading, then it pops out more. And then you can see I made a little bit of a mistake with the eye. I accidentally put it like the black part of the eye on the part where it's supposed to be like brown. But it's usually like when you make mistakes like that, it's usually pretty easy to cover it with the paint. It's just that like for some paints, it's like really hard. Like yellow, it's really hard to cover up anything with yellow. I think every single time I've used yellow and I've like had to go over something, it's like, oh, it's either never fully like covered it, or it always takes like 600 layers to do that. And then this is like it's kind of like the line art of my friend. And then there's me adding in the eye color. I'm covering that black part that accidentally went over its like boundary. And then this is the shadow, which is pink. I tried to make like the whole thing like have like at least like every single color, like from the hair to the skin to like the eyes, it has at least some amount of pink in it. Even though like it's still like for the brown, like it still looks like it's brown, it does have a small amount of pink of it. And that's good because like it helps make everything like fit together instead of having like different colors that may seem like jarring. My only mistake is that with the background, I didn't do that. It was just like regular colors. And you'll see that like it kind of looks like a little bit different. Like you can't really like see much pink. Is this the background? Oh yeah, there it is. Yep, it's yellow, and I forgot to add some pink in it. I feel like something that's like always tricky for me is that whenever I make something or like I do something, I always want to say like why it turned out bad or why I dislike it. But then I always think to what my high school teacher told me for ELA. She told me that whenever you say what a mistake is, like people usually don't know. But then when you say it, then they see it. Which, I mean, that's honestly like really good advice. Because like all the stuff that I just critiqued, I don't know if like some of people like would notice or not if I like didn't say it. Well, I'm almost done painting. So I hope you have a really good day. And if you're my friend watching this, then shout out to you. Bye.